The pastor that baptized me, he took his life. It was, I mean, obviously it's a shock. It's always a shock. Not as much a shock as some of the other ones that I've experienced, but you know, I said I'd done some events with my camera and did a Santa shoot and gave money, or excuse me, it was a food drive for Operation Breadbasket was the name of it in Concord. We did that, me and my wife did that for years before I got into real estate, and that was November of 2019, and then December of 2019, a young man who helped me get through real estate school, who was associated with Keller Williams.
He was.
Yeah, so he helped me, and he helped about 3 or 4 other of us have study group, and yeah, I mean, it was a few days before Christmas, and got a text that, hey, Devin just took his life, and I was like, what in the world? I mean, he was, if there was ever a shining star, he was the young man. And so that, I don't think that wasn't my first event, but it was always kind of in the back of my head. It was like, man, we can't forget Devin. We just can't. Nobody should forget that kid. And I remember seeing him about two or 3 days before he passed, and I was like, man, something doesn't feel right. But you know, at the same time, as a young man, I didn't know if it was breakup or bad day, whatever. You know, we know how we are as young men at the time. Life is a little bit wild, but I didn't think too much of it. I mean, it's not like I was even in tune with what to look for at that, you know, at that moment. But yeah, overall, I mean, it just in the back of my mind is like, especially once I started getting into real estate, started knowing people, started knowing that we could start making some differences here and there. So Devin was it, and then my DJ that does all my events, he actually had tried twice to take his own life, and thankfully, by the grace of God, it didn't happen. And he got linked up with Mental Health of America. Him and I started, you know, just becoming real good buddies, and just said, this is where we're going to do it. Yeah. For the season that we're in, this is how we're going to make a difference. So, and it sucks.